Final update. When my brother excluded me from their weddings, I knew it was time to turn the tables. The outcome was. Part 2. My sister had something much nicer at her wedding. That wedding didn't seem worthy of our family. For a moment, I was speechless, not because I agreed, but because I was shocked by how rude she was. I tried not to explode, and when I finally spoke, my voice was cold. Mom, the only thing that wasn't worthy here was you. You weren't even invited, yet you feel entitled to criticize. You saw pictures of something you shouldn't have seen. If you didn't like it, fine. Because I didn't plan anything to please you, I said. She got angry but didn't back down. You're being so selfish, Mariana. Really, do you think you can just cut us out of your life? That's not normal. You've always been resentful, and now you're taking it out on us. What did we do to deserve this? She asked. That was the last straw. I couldn't stay calm anymore. What did you do? Let's refresh our memories, Mom. You ignored me during the most important moments of my life. I was never important enough to be at my own siblings' weddings. But now you expect me to include you in mine as if nothing happened? That's hypocrisy, and the most ironic thing. The only thing that could have ruined my wedding was inviting you, I replied. There was silence on the phone. I thought maybe she had finally understood, but no. She took a deep breath and said with contempt, "You're ungrateful. We did everything for you, and this is how you repay us? You're abandoning your family for a man who barely just came into your life. You'll regret this." I hung up before she could say more. I was tired of arguing with someone who would never admit their mistakes. But the drama didn't stop there. My siblings, clearly encouraged by my mom, started sending me non-stop messages in the family group chat. Beatrice wrote, "You've destroyed the family, Mariana. Congratulations on pushing away everyone who ever loved you." Fernando, as always, made a show of it. "I hope the husband you chose is worth it, because you've lost everything for him." I read everything silently while my husband watched, knowing it hurt me but not wanting to get involved. After a few minutes, I left the group chat without replying. It wasn't worth it. The next days were full of private messages and calls, all of which I ignored. My mom even showed up at my door unannounced, but I didn't let her in. "Mom, there's no point. You only know how to criticize and belittle me. I don't want any of that in my life," I said. She yelled from outside, "Family is forever, Mariana. You can't just eliminate us because you're hurt." I opened the door just enough to reply, "Family should mean support, respect, and love, not manipulation and constant criticism. If that's all you have to offer, then yes, I can eliminate you from my life, and that's exactly what I'm going to do." I closed the door while she kept yelling, but I didn't pay attention. I had already made my decision. Since then, I've cut off all contact with them. The few times they tried to reach out, it was with more accusations and criticism, but I no longer had the patience for it. Now, my life is focused on me and my husband. We've built a relationship based on respect and love, everything my family never gave me. Looking back, I know walking away was the best decision. I don't miss anything, and I don't feel guilty. I'm finally at peace, living a happy life and knowing I don't owe anything to people who never truly valued me. My life is calmer and happier than I ever imagined it could be since I cut off contact with my family. I feel like I can finally breathe. My husband and I are focused on building a solid life based on love and respect, something I never had with my family. Recently, something very special happened. I found out I'm pregnant. It was an amazing moment when I saw the positive result. Tears filled my eyes, and my husband hugged me tightly, saying, "We're going to raise this baby with so much love that they'll never want for anything." From the start, we knew our child would only be surrounded by people who truly cared for them, which meant my family had no place in their life. However, as always, news travels fast. I'm not sure how they found out, maybe through a distant relative or a mutual acquaintance, but soon I started receiving messages. The first one was from my mom. "Mariana, I heard you're pregnant. I want you to know that despite everything, we're your family, and it's important for the baby to have their grandparents around." I didn't reply. My husband and I had already decided that they wouldn't have any contact with our child. It wasn't because I wanted to be cruel, but because I couldn't risk exposing my child to the same toxic behavior I had endured all my life. After my mom's message, my siblings started messaging too. Beatrice, as usual, tried to manipulate me. "Congratulations on the pregnancy, Mariana. Despite all the fights, we're siblings, and I know you'll need support. We're here for you and the baby." Fernando, of course, was more direct. "Hold on to your grudge if you want, but at least let us meet our nephew. He deserves to know he has a big family." I read everything in silence while my husband, as always, stood by my side. He took my hand and said, "You don't have to reply. You don't owe them anything. This is our moment, and we only need those who truly care about us." He was right. The following week, my mom showed up at our house unannounced. When I opened the door and saw her with an expression that seemed like regret, my heart clenched for a moment, but I didn't let it affect me. Before she could say anything, I was direct. "Mom, don't insist. You're not a part of my life, and you won't be a part of my child's life either." She tried to argue, "Mariana, you can't do this. We're your family. This baby is part of us too." I replied firmly, "I'm not going to let my child go through what I went through. I want them to grow up surrounded by true love, without manipulation, without criticism, without emotional games. That's something you and the others never knew how to offer." She started to cry, but I knew those tears weren't real regret, they were because she wasn't getting what she wanted. Before she could continue, I closed the door. It was painful, but it was necessary. Since then, The messages and attempts at contact have continued, but they no longer affect me. My focus now is on my pregnancy, my husband, and the baby on the way. We're planning everything with so much love and care, and I couldn't wait to start this new chapter of our lives. Some might say it's selfish to keep my family away from the baby, but for me, this is about protection. I won't allow any toxic influence near my child. Today, I am at peace with my decision. I know my child will grow up in a safe and loving home, and that's all that matters. My family can keep blaming me and saying I'm wrong, but I don't care anymore. For the first time, I have control over my life and the life I'm about to bring into the world, and that is freeing.